What's the deal, YouTube? It's Sadie's B, aka the FX Inspirer, and I am back with another video. In today's video, I just want to talk to you guys a little bit, and then I am going to do a weekly outlook on the pairs that I am planning to trade this coming week. So first off, I just want to say that I will no longer be doing the Rocket 21 um, phases, series anymore. I was just catching myself trading way too often and jumping into my positions too early, trying to have content to record, and it was just kind of messing with my psychology. So I'm actually just gonna wait until I get those things passed, and then I will start incorporating them back into the channel. But right now, I just need to focus on getting the phases complete. Um, Secondly, I'm gonna focus more on weekly breakdowns, breakdown of my trades once they played out, and also incorporating some live trading sessions where you actually see me get into the positions. So those are like, my three main categories right now. And like I said, once I actually pass the phases, I will potentially, you know, put the prop firm challenges back into rotation. But as of now, they are done. So before we get started on the breakdown, I just wanted to go over the trades that were in my last challenge video, some of the ones that I got in. Now, I can't remember if all of these were in there because, like I said, I did record some content since then, and that was supposed to be for the upcoming video, but there won't be any more videos on that topic right now. So I'm just going to go over all of the trades and just kind of let you know how they played out. And then I will stick a screenshot of my MT5 somewhere on the screen as well. So if we start with NAS, I had a pretty rough week. I lost about 5 to 6 trades in a row, all indices, trying to short the market. So I learned a very valuable lesson, to let the market really show its hand, and that I don't have to be the first seller in the room. You know what I'm saying? So basically, I sold, as you can see, twice in these areas and got stopped out of both. Not gonna go over those too much because this is the part of the challenge. SPX, I tried to get short in this region right here, thinking that this was the top, and as you can see, ended up getting stopped out. Oil, I ended up getting taken out at break even, but missed my re-entry at this trend line. So yeah. And then we have US 30. I had 2 attempts in this area, and as you can see, I got knocked out of both positions. So I am being patient and waiting to see some lower highs start to be created before I actually jump back into the indices. And also with Japan 225, I talked about this in the video that I was seeing this left head, right shoulder. Um, you know, Tuesday ended up giving us this evening star, and so from here, I just thought that we were gonna, continue down to this trend line, and ended up making a higher low instead and taking out these highs. So I think that was the last one. Yeah. So we're gonna, cut it right there. But now we can get into what I'm looking for this week, right? We can start with EU. Start with EU, which I am still currently in. I've been swinging this since the 10th. Really, it was the 9th that I saw the entry. But, I trade the 1 o'clock close. I mean, it'll be the 1 o'clock open candle is where I would get in a position. So that would technically be the next day, right? So yeah, um, like I said, still in this trade, just beautiful market structure. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Looking for a lower high. Y'all already know when you see the purple zones, it's my 50 and 61.8 field level. And that's where I'm looking for price to come back up to potentially get another position and continue the overall trend. If I just take my field A to B, looking for price to come up another 17 to 38 pips. If we can get that, then I would definitely be looking for shorts if we can get some type of bearish candle formation. And my overall long-term target would be this 105 flat. All right. So CAD, and excuse my computer. I know it is very loud. I don't know what the problem is. It just be getting overheated so easily. CAD, I am still currently in this trade as well. Now I can say that I'm not really feeling how Friday closed. Well, it's actually not too bad. Let me see. Now that I'm kind of looking at it. Now remember, y'all, I'm giving y'all a weekly breakdown. So if I have moments where I pause, it's because I'm really trying to analyze and see what I'm looking for the week, right? So it actually did close under this 61.8, as y'all can see. So from this point, I would be looking for price to roll over because that will keep with the low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and then lower low scenario, right? So the most I'm looking for to push up is maybe another 13 pips or so. But if it starts to break the 78.6, then I would definitely probably take the rest of my the rest of my profit. I have been taking profit along the way, but I am definitely looking to see price get to 187. 0.87, my bad, long term. So we'll see if we get that this week. So let's move on. Gold. I am currently short on gold. I forgot to mention that, I actually took this loss. I can't remember if this was in the last video or not, but if it was, I'm just gonna refer back to it again because I honestly don't remember. um, Literally got wicked out and price just fell right back, in the direction that I was looking for it to go. So I missed this bearish engulfing tweezer scenario. That's not engulfing, that's definitely just tweezer. I missed this tweezer dark cloud, if you want to call it, scenario. And so I waited for price to pull back, and then I got my entry from there. And so I'm looking to see if we can get down to $2,000 an ounce this week, or potentially, the beginning of next week, if not. But we do have CPI news coming out, so I will definitely be keeping an eye on gold. German 30, or German 40, actually. I am currently short, and I am looking for price to hold this 17 flat. So there's nothing really that I'm looking to add this week. I just wanted to show you guys some of the positions that I was already in. Hoping that it holds where it currently is and starts to roll over from here. So we shall see. It's kind of looking like a little potential left head, right shoulder in formation. Kinda. If we take that, turn the candles off, it's like kinda, but yeah. So looking forward to get to 16.5. So we'll see if we hit that or not. So let me look at what's next. Natural gas. I thought that I could have got me a little intraday trade off of this 19 flat level, but as you can see, we pushed right past that. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this off. And I was thinking that we might have gotten up here before we came back down to 17.5, but as y'all can see, price has just melted. So I'm actually going to delete this as well, and I will wait to see what price wants to do with this 17.5 level. Excuse me. If we look at the weekly chart, it does have some support across this area. It's a little choppy. You got a bigger support down at 15 flats, but I would definitely see what we do at the 17.5 level if we want to bounce back up to 2,000 flat before heading all the way down to 15 flat. So I'm gonna keep an eye on this one. I'm not really looking to trade it as of today, but just wanted to let you guys know kind of what I'm looking at. So if we can get a bounce here to come here and then back down to this level, that could be a valid trade for me. And I would actually trade both directions. Because let's just say that we stop here, right? Actually, we can go to the top of the volume. Let's just say we stop here. I could trade it back up to this 61.8 and 50% level, and then I can trade it down to this 15 flat, which is my overall target. So I just wanted y'all to kind of see the concept of why I would potentially take longs and then continue back to the downside if price will give me indication that that's what it wants to do. But I'm going to leave this marked up and see what we end up getting this week. So AU is another one that I am really looking to trade this week. If we look at market structure, we had a low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and I'm looking to see if we can come back up into this level right here to give us a new lower high to roll over and give us a new lower low. If I take my fibs from A to B, right, you see the purple zone, y'all already know, y'all see that? It's my 50 and 61.8 zones always. And so if we can come up pretty much like EU, if we can come up another, 48 pips or so, then I would like to get into this trade. But y'all know I like to put, if I do a sell limit, I like to put it in the middle. So another 40 pips roughly, I will be activated into the trade. So this is probably one that I will set a sell limit on later on tonight. So GJ, let's look at the weekly. So I'm overall bullish on GJ. I would honestly just like to see if we could at least come back down to this 38.2 level. So that's because it might be a little too long time. So from this trend line, if we take our fibs from here, okay, this might make a little more sense. So if we can come back like even if we do hit the 38.2, that's still a retest to 87.5. Um, let's see how many pips that is. It's about 91 pips from where we are to the 50 is about 137 pips, and to the 61.8 about 182 pips. So we shall see. We shall see. I don't really think it's really, too much for me to do on this one until I can really see price roll over, give me a new higher low so that we can create that new higher high up to 190 flat. So I'm gonna delete this because I don't really use trend lines like that. But yeah, so this is cleaner to me. And so I'm gonna just draw this arrow to let me know, you know, if we can hold this level right here, then I will look to go to 190, taking out all of these highs right here from people selling, because you got sellers that was here, you had sellers here, you had sellers all through here, potentially sellers coming in here if I'm looking for price to come down here, right? And then the overall move to take out everybody in this level right here. So EJ is pretty much the same thing. If we look at the weekly, we got a nice bullish closure. We go A to B. We already pretty much tested this 50%. So honestly, let me just do a smaller field on this weekly candle right here. And then you go down to the daily. So if we can come back, let's see, about 92 pips, then, I'll be looking to continue this uptrend on EJ. I'm gonna actually leave this trend line on here, surprisingly, just because it looks so clean to me. And then I'm gonna add my arrow because my first target would be 162.5 if we can get that pullback and that nice higher low. All right. So let's see. So this one right here, I see that we are still, pretty much trading up. But honestly, I don't think it's tradable for me this week. Because we kind of already got close to the level that I was looking for it to get to. If I take my fibs, A, B, it's sitting right at this 38 and 50. And because this is an FX pair, I have to remember that sometimes it really will respect the 38.2 or simply between the 38.2 and the 50 and never get up to the 61.8. So I'm keeping that in mind. And because we just kind of sitting stagnant at this area right here, and last week's closure was definitely a dark cloud because it closed about 50% of the previous week. I'm going to wait and see because we actually could come back down to this 11 flat level. So I'm not going to rush into any trades with this one as of now. Let's go see what I will be waiting on for the indices. So I already kind of went over this with y'all, so I'm gonna go ahead and delete all of this. Check all of this. So I'm gonna delete this level too. Okay, cool. So for me personally, I'm still short on NAS. Not long term, but definitely believe that we need to see price roll over. Right, if I draw a trend line, just for context, right, if we can at least come back to 17.5, that would be ideal for me. And that's still enough to potentially trade on, like, the 4 hour. Um, so let's look and see. So if we take the field retracement from this previous week candle, it has a possibility that it can stop here as well, back around the 17,750 area. So I'm gonna keep that zone on there. Let's go down to the. So yeah, one or two things can take place here. We can either come here and continue highs, or we can come here and continue highs, or we can come. Okay, so let me delete these just so y'all can see. Or third, we can come here, we can come back up, lower high, and then we can start a whole new trend, right? I'm not sure which of the three are going to happen, but those are definitely the three things that I will be watching for. This level, or a lower high at this 18,000 basis points, my bad. A lower high, either a higher low here or a higher low here. Simple, 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 simple. And I'll leave that trend line on there for now. All right, so SPX, not sure if it wants to continue up, but I got this 50.75 level marked up just in case it does. So I can go ahead and delete all of this because I already showed you guys that. So let's go to the weekly on here as well. All of these indices have made all-time highs, and so I am definitely expecting some type of pullback. As you can see, we've had one pullback since October on this market. And if I take my trend line on this one, and I do the same thing I did on NAS, A to B. So we got this level right here. So let's go back down to the daily. Let's look. So I don't know what happened to now. So yeah, back to the daily. And pretty much the same thing. Either we either we come here and we continue up, or we come here and we continue up, right? Same two scenarios. Or we come here, lower high, and do the same thing that, I pretty much mentioned on NAS. We come down here, come up, create a lower high at this 5,000 basis points, and then break the trend line, come under, and continue to the downside. All three are a possibility. And because I've been getting my toe up, y'all, in the indices, these last 2 weeks trying to sell this market. I am going to be very, very cautious. And that is why, honestly, I'm going to leave these trend lines on the indices just so I can personally see what happens at these two levels right here. Right? Because this purple zone is still attached to this trend line, but it could either come deeper and retrace. So I don't want to get caught up in sales just for it to blow back through my stop loss again. So I'm gonna leave those on for now, but if I start to see price create lower highs, I might take it off so that I don't get too distracted or fixated on price going back up, because sometimes I have a tendency of getting overly confident or overly stuck on one side of the market, that I start to miss lower highs and breaks of structures being created. So I'll keep it on for now, but throughout the week it'll probably come off. So oil, I know I touched on it a little bit when I was going through everything. Like I said, in this position right here, we ended up getting stopped out at break even, and I missed my initial re-entry off of this trend line right here. But no need to fear. I still think that we can get to 80 and potentially break 80 this week. But we're gonna start with 80 A to B. As you can see, this is my 50 and 61.8 level. First take profit will be here at the highs. We're pretty much 80 for me. And yeah, that's really all I'm waiting on oil is a simple break. A simple retest of this 61 and 50% level. Yeah. Delete all this. Man, stop being lazy. So yeah, really self-explanatory here. Maybe we can get back somewhere around here. My targets, my stops will be under here. My first TP would be actually this 1 to 2.5, because I have started to incorporate and taking partials. So I want to take partials at half of my overall take profit, and my overall TP is always usually a 1 to 2.5. And if we go past that 1 to 2.5, it needs to be breaking one of these structure levels. So let's say that my 1 to 2.5 was right here, right? And then I saw that we had a big close like this. If it can show me that it can hold, then I will put my stops at break even, and then I will trail to the next zone, if that makes sense. But my second take profit is always going to be the 1 to 2.5, which is technically my overall take profit, but I just call it my second one now, because my first one is me taking partials off at this 1 to 2.5, which is usually either 60-40. So I take 60 off, leave 40 running, or 70-30, depending on the momentum of the position. So if it's looking like it's really wanting to push up strong, I will leave, the 40% over 30%. So I would take less off and leave just a little more on, if that makes sense. But yeah, this is my 1 to 2.5 is here. So which kind of makes sense, because we will be looking forward to take all of these highs out anyway. So it's not too far off. And to me, this is still considered the 80 level. Because remember, it's not just a line, it's a zone. So I'm considering all of this my 80%. My 80 level. So that would be the trade there. And let me see. Okay, so we got US 30 as well. So let's clear all of this out since we don't already talked about it, man. Let's just start first. Let's just start first. All right, so I got this 38,750 level marked up. Like I said, I just been getting beat up trying to short the market. And so I'm gonna do the same thing I did with NAS and SPX. I'm gonna go to the weekly, take my trend line, and I honestly can see a little difference in US 30. So when I draw the trend line on US 30, let's see. When I draw the trend line on US 30, and we go back down to the daily. See, this is why I don't really care for trend lines, man. But let's just look at it real quick. It's looking like it's already trying to start breaking this trend line. So for me, if we can see a lower high, I would definitely be looking for this market to roll over. Which I'm looking for all of them to roll over. But US 30 is looking like the one that is ready to roll over the most to me, if that makes sense. Because even if we come to the weekly again, I'm gonna take this off because I don't really like that trend line. Here we go, A to B. Let's go back to the daily. I guess the next level of defense of like if it's gonna continue to the upside for me is to see if we hold 38.5, which also aligns with my 50 and 61.8. So if this holds, you know, I don't know. It looks like it's gonna potentially keep going up, right? I don't know. And that's very potential because it could hit this level and just come back to this same zone and continue to consolidate here, right? Or it can come down, come back to this level, create a lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and so on, right? So I'm going to watch this 38.5 level very, very close. I don't think that I really want to get involved with US 30 shorts up here. So if we can get under this level, I think that I would be ready to short down to 38 flat and potentially 37.5 if, you know, the momentum is really showing strong momentum. I mean, I just said momentum. Oh, y'all. I'm telling y'all, I'll be keeping it real raw and uncut. I don't even do too much editing because I just be wanting y'all to feel me. So, so yeah, man, that's what I'm looking at with US 30. I'm hoping that we can, like I said, start to roll over from here because I need my revenge. Not just one, but seriously, because I done got tore up these last 2 weeks for real, for real. I know I keep saying that, but it's like, damn. All right, so JP225. Um, honestly, not one that I'm really super interested in this week. If we can tap this 37.5, maybe I'll start to get a little more interested. Let's look at the weekly. But I really would like to see it roll over. It's not really, I'm not really seeing too much of it wanting to roll over just in this moment in time. So yeah, I'm just gonna chill. Because I was hoping, like I said, we could come back to this trend line where we had resistance, resistance, and then, continue that overall move because that's what I was planning. I wanted to trade it down and then I wanted to trade it back up to this level right here, but it pretty much just went straight up to that level, which is cool. Um, so I'm kind of sitting on my hands with this one right now. We can go over some of my other major pairs that I like to trade. We talked about all of those. So let's look at Australia 200. So honestly, we wicked above all of these highs, all of these all-time highs over here, and we fell back into this same area. Every time we came here, we dropped, came here, dropped, right? Came here, dropped, and now we're came here, dropped. Now we're back here again, and it's seeming like we're having a hard time breaking the zone. So could potentially be short. And also we just been kind of, consolidating here. So honestly, I don't know. The only way that I would be interested in trading this one is if I seen another like strong bearish momentum candle like this. But as of now, this is just very indecisive and I don't know which way it actually wants to go because it could just be building up right here to fly, you know. Who knows? I really don't. So I'm not gonna act like I do. But like I said, I'm more on the downside because we made all-time highs. But, you know, I've obviously been, early on there plenty of times and I just don't want to go through that no more. So I'm a chill. I'm a chill. And this one, UK 100, not my favorite. Not even gonna hold. It's not my favorite. Either back to this level or down to this one or above here, retest, then I can get involved. So one of three things. I'll start looking if it gets here. I'll start looking if it comes here, or I'll be interested in looking if it breaks, retest, right, to then go here. But it's just kind of sitting in the middle of these two areas. And this is already the midpoint of my two main zones. And so I'm not going to draw another one in between here. I like to trade these particular zones. So it needs to come back up here, down here, or break and retest here. And then I will come back around to it. And I think that might be, I want to share this Bitcoin trade that I missed. Man. So pretty much what I saw here is we had this we had a left head, right shoulder. So I was like, cool. Where could I potentially get in? So I took my field from A to B. And if we just bar replay real quick so y'all can see. It was really just these candles right here. So, yeah. From this low to this high. 61.8, right? Cool. Let me zoom out again so y'all can see left head, right shoulder. Cool. I'm like, okay, we broke the neckline on Monday. Tuesday, we started to come down. That's where it gave me the option to draw my field. And as you can see, Wednesday, we would have got tapped in, but I forgot to place my sell limit. My buy limit. And yeah, and it came back again, but at this point, when I seen that it hit my buy limit, I honestly thought that it was just gonna fly from here. So I wasn't really looking at the chart anymore. But I should have, because I had one, two, three, four, five, about 6 times that I could have got into this position or into multiple positions at the same level. And as you can see, just straight up, man, straight up. Crazy. But yeah, let's look at the weekly and see what Bitcoin got going. It literally just broke the last one, two, three, four, that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The last 9 weeks with this one candle. Maybe a pullback. I might potentially look to get in a long position here. My mouse is moving so slow. Might look to get into a long position here. I think that could be valid. And I didn't even look at. Let me go back. I almost been on here 60 minutes, y'all. Yeah, and then above these highs, and okay, that could be a position for me. So we'll see, y'all. If we can pull that down here, I'll do to take it up for sure. So I'll keep an eye on Bitcoin, and let's look at the Japanese futures. So I'm looking for GJ and EJ to go down just a little bit before continuing up. So I'll take my field A to B. If we can come back here, it should kind of line up with the bias. So, having it to pull up, so GJ and EJ go down, and then once it reaches here, EJ and GJ will be ready to go up, and the futures market will be ready to come down. So that will go hand in hand with my bias, because I'm looking for EJ and GJ to pull back, right? So that means I would need the Japanese yen futures to go higher momentarily. And let's take a look at the VIX. Very interesting. So the VIX is negatively correlated with the stock market. So when the VIX is going down, indices most times are going up, and vice versa. So we are starting to see, well, we've been having these higher low points on the VIX, right? And I'm just now noticing that Friday's closure was a piercing line because it wicked under this previous day and it closed more than 50% of the candle. So that is a piercing line at this trend line, and it's a new higher low. So that might mean that the indices may be ready to go down this week, but like I said, I am keeping my hands off of the indices until I see something clean as I don't know what. Do you hear me? Because I am not getting caught back up in that again. I am not. But I think that's pretty much gonna wrap up the video, y'all. Let me take a look at DXY. So yeah, I'm still pretty bullish on the DXY. If I go A to B, if I can see price come down just a little bit that will go hand in hand with AU and EU going up just a tad so that I can get a new position on EU and then a potential position on AU. So everything is lining up pretty good. If this can come down, then like I said, that means EU and AU will go up just a little bit, which I am looking for. So let's look at GU, and I am gonna call it a video. So GU had been consolidating all through here, right? It was just in this big range. And then last Monday, we broke smooth out. And if I take my fields from A to B, we can come up just a tad bit more. I think I might be interested in shorts on GU as well. And so my entry would look something like this. If I place the sell limit here, stops above all of these wicks over here. And then my 1 to 2.5, which is right at this zone. And then my 1 to 2.5. I kind of like it. So I think the main pairs that I'm paying attention to this week are definitely EU, GU, AU. I'll probably pick between AU and GU, which of the two I like the best. I'm gonna be focusing on oil for sure. GJ and EJ, I'm just kind of, paying close attention, but I don't think I want to trade them counter trend. I just want to wait to see if they're gonna pull back first. So I'm not gonna be focusing on those too heavy, and then I'll be looking at the indices, the US indices, NAS, US 30, and SPX the most. So those 5 or 6 pairs and assets. Oh, and Bitcoin. So those 7, I think that was 7. I'll be paying attention to. So you guys will be getting an update video soon, and potentially some breakdowns if I get into any of those positions. I hope everybody has a great day and an amazing trading week this week.